This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 367 of Horse Tip Daily, a different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. This tip is sponsored by ECOGOLD. Visit them at ecogold.ca. Howdy, Glenn Geek back with you from Lexington, Kentucky, and you're listening to Horse Tip Daily. I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday and enjoyed the snow in most parts of the country. We certainly did here in Lexington, Kentucky. Well, today we have somebody new for Horse Tip Daily on with us. His name is Brett Parbery. Brett is a dressage rider, and he's part-time co-host now of the Dressage Radio Show, and he's out of Australia. He is the Australian record holder for Grand Prix and Grand Prix Freestyle Dressage. He is also the 2010 Australian Dressage Champion, and he came in second at the 2010 Hickstead World Dressage Masters CDI 5-Star Grand Prix Special. So he's quite accomplished in what he does. He was over here for the World Equestrian Games as well. And we want to thank Brett for joining the Dressage Radio Show and also allowing us to provide his tips over here at Horse Tip Daily. And we're going to be right back with Brett's tip from episode number 82 of the Dressage Radio Show. And he was on there with Chris Stafford, so we'll be right back with that after this word from EcoGold. Well, you've heard me tell you about EcoGold. Now let's hear from one of the professional riders that actually uses the products every day in her professional career. And that is international Canadian eventer Jessica Phoenix, WEG hopeful for 2010. Let's hear from Jessica and see how she likes EcoGold.
I love EcoGold products. I've used their saddle pads and their cross-country and open-front show jump boots for over a year now, and I'm just thrilled with the results. They're very breathable, they provide great protection, and all of our horses have benefited from using them in competition.
Well, thanks, Jess, and you can learn more about all of EcoGold's products by going to ecogold.ca. That's ecogold.ca.
Well, I'm back with my co-host, Brett Parbery. Brett, you've got, I believe, two really cracking tips this week. Both of them I thought were so good we have to run with one. I think the first one is really good advice because it's very easy to get stuck in circles, but I think you're going to remind everybody how important it is to train riding in those distinct lines that you're going to be riding in the test. And then I think the second tip is going to be about trying to get the motions out of your riding and ride with a distinct plan.
Yes, no, because I know how it is to train remotely and on your own. And let's face it, most people in the world of dressage do train on their own. So I think it's highly important to have a structure with your riding. And the first tip I'd like to give is, as you just said, that when we do ride on our own, we can get a little bit fixated on something and find after 15 minutes that we've done repetitious 20-metre circles, one after the other, trying to sort out a problem. And really we have to be aware of what we're training our horse to do. And I find that, well, firstly, there's not one dressage test in the world that requires us to do repetitious 20-metre circles, one after the other. So therefore, I find that what helps me create some structure and pattern to my riding is to just ride the lines of a test of a dressage arena, so long sides, corners, short sides, short diagonals, long diagonals, centre lines, quarter lines, and just trying to place the horse on those lines and first of all try to gain foot perfect control over those lines, and then start to train transitions and both within and between the paces on those lines, and then train going from working paces to collected paces on the lines of the test. And occasionally you might throw a 20-metre circle in, but it's a good way to make sure that when you go from the warm-up arena or from your training into your test, suddenly you're not riding lines which are foreign to you and your horse. So I'd like to say to people, just when you warm up or when you're training, just stay on the outside track, go through your corners, ride your centre lines, make transitions on your centre lines, make exercises that finish it from start at one point and finish at another, that you've chosen to just try and gain perfect control over your horse, and then try to then alter and make your corrections within those lines and within that foot perfect control. So that's my first tip. And the second tip I'd like to say, and I also notice this a lot when I go around teaching, because I do teach a lot of people who inevitably have to train on their own, that we all know the strategy of having a plan before you ride and making sure that you have a good, clear process of what you want to do in your head. But what happens when the plan doesn't work? And what happens when you started out thinking you were going to train half passes, but you get stuck on training shoulder in, or stuck on training walk-trot transitions? And what my advice there is to just make sure that the horse doesn't know the plan, and the horse doesn't understand what our motives and incentives are, and the goals that we set for ourselves. So just probably the biggest plan I think one should hop on a horse with is to ride without emotion. And every time an emotional circumstance arises, just think to yourself quickly, no emotion, stick to the plan, this is what I want to try and do. If it's not working, this is what I must do. And just try to stick to the basics, and the better your basics become and the less you're emotional about it, and the more you just repetitiously go through your basics and your aids and keep reviewing yourself and reviewing what you're communicating with the horse, I think the quicker and easier it is to train them. And also, when you hop off, you're never disappointed in yourself. You're always glad that you gave it your best shot, and the horse, I find that they tend to learn a lot quicker. So yeah, they're both my tips for the day. Stick to the lines and ride without emotion.
Well, that's great advice, and it's so easy to get emotional about something because we feel so passionately about it and we want to perfect it. And, sometimes we just have to stand back and just take a deep breath and, go for a hack if it's not working.
That's right. And look, the horses don't understand emotion. They don't understand our goals. They only understand the information that we're giving to them. And it's just important to review the information. Make sure your information, your body is telling the horse correctly as to what it should do. And then just to keep non-emotional about it and just keep repeating it. I mean, if you repeat something over and over again, eventually the horse will learn it. And the less emotional we are about it and the less we are in a hurry, the more chance the horse is of understanding it.
Yeah, very, very good advice. Well, thanks for that, Brett.
That was Chris Stafford and Brett Parbery from Australia with those tips, and we appreciate them being here. Well, you can follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page for Horse Tip Daily at horsetipdaily.com. Never miss an episode again. You can listen right from Facebook. I also discovered over the weekend that you can listen to all of our shows, including Horse Tip Daily, just on your TV set through, if you have a Wii or an Xbox, any one of those game controllers or game machines that actually gets the internet. So on the Wii, I was able to go to the internet and go to Horses in the Morning or Horse Radio Network or Horse Tip Daily, any of our websites. HorseRadioNetwork.com has them all, has all the different shows. And just go to whatever show you want to listen to, hit the play button. It actually works, so you can end up listening on your TV set if you like as well, right through your Wii or any of your game players that gets the internet. That was kind of cool, I have to admit. So that's it for today. We'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, stay safe, everyone.
The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.